Christopher Ward at it again. Today we're taking a look at the C63 Sealander GMT. This is their newest GMT. It has their newest bracelet as well. It gets a beautiful blue dial and it's powered by a Sellita SW330. This was released just a few weeks ago and it kind of went under the radar. Today I have one hands-on to show you guys, so let's flip the camera and take a look at the new 39mm C63 Sealander GMT. Over the past 2 years, Christopher Ward have been releasing tons of new watches, new designs, and new product lines. This was a watch that was actually a little bit overshadowed by the release of the 12 in 36mm. This is the C63 Sealander GMT. It's in 39mm, and this one gets a beautiful Dragonfly blue dial. It's more like an electric blue with a sunburst effect. It is beautiful, a very, very nice dial from Christopher Ward here, and it is an Explorer style GMT. So you're getting that fixed bezel. It's in stainless steel and it has a 24-hour track on it. This also gets their new bracelet. This is their new 5-link bracelet, polishing down those 2 center links. It's a thin bracelet with screwed links, so something that Christopher Ward have been doing on all of their new bracelets, which is great. And it is a double push button enclosure. It's a butterfly enclosure, and it has Christopher Ward signed on either side of that clasp. A really beautiful bracelet, and actually goes really well with this GMT. It's an Explorer style GMT, and I think it kind of is reminiscent of a Jubilee style bracelet, and I think that's kind of what they're going for, a multi-link bracelet, 5 links. It makes a lot of sense. This dial, as I mentioned, is beautiful. It's in that electric blue. You have a minute track on the outside, very typical Christopher Ward dial here. So you have applied indices. Those are filled with lume. You get X1, BL, C1 lume on those indices, and on the hands you have the Christopher Ward hands. You have the dagger for that hour hand, and then for the second hand you have a fence post hand. You also have that trident second hand, and there's a little bit of orange on the tip of that second hand. Then you have a very big, bold GMT hand, very Explorer style. Again, that's in orange, and that is loomed. You have a date down at the 6 o'clock. That is color matched to the dial, so it actually takes part of the place for that 6 o'clock index. Up at the 12 o'clock, right below the 12 o'clock index, you have the Christopher Ward logo, which is applied. So obviously all the new design DNA going into this dial, and it says automatic GMT down at the bottom. Above the 6 o'clock, right below that automatic GMT, it gives you the depth rating. This is 150 meters of water resistance. And again, that's in orange to match that GMT hand and second hand. So you're getting a little bit of color on the dial. 150 meters of water resistance is excellent. You are getting a screwed-in crown and a screwed-in caseback. That caseback is sapphire, obviously sapphire on the front as well. Light catcher case never disappoints. Tons of facets on this case, polishing, brushing, everything looks beautiful. You have a very nicely etched crown, really nicely signed with the Christopher Ward logo. Flipping it on its other side, beautiful line of brushing that goes down the center of these cases. The light catcher case is probably the best bargain out there. If you're looking for something that is finished really well, they do it better than almost any other brand out there for the price. You also get quick release on the bracelet. I do want to mention that. And the sapphire crystal caseback allows you to see the SW330. The SW330 is sort of an upgraded movement from Sellita. It's thinner, and slightly better looking in my opinion, and you do have a different rotor on here. The SW330 is the GMT version of the SW300, and the SW300 is basically a clone of the 2892 from ETA, which is also their higher end movement. So these are great movements. Measurements on here, as I mentioned, this is a 39mm watch. It's just about 39mm at that bezel, so it's around 38.9mm. It's a little bit bigger at the case. It's around a 12mm thickness. That's including both sapphire crystals. And then you have about a 45.6mm lug to lug. You do get male end links on this watch, so it does wear larger than it said lug to lug, so it's around 50 millimeters if you include that bracelet. However, the bracelet does fold down really, really well, as you can see, so it's not that terrible. You have about a 6 millimeter crown, and as I mentioned before, the crown is really nicely etched with the Christopher Ward logo, very typical of Christopher Ward, looks and feels great. And it is screwed in, and you do have that screwed in case back with 150 meters of water resistance. Today on wrist, I have my latest purchase. This is my IWC GST Perpetual Calendar Chronograph Moon Phase with digital year display. Another very complicated watch that I have purchased that is an IWC. I don't know why I'm on a kick with IWC, but I really love this watch. I've always loved this watch, and video for this watch dropping, I think, tomorrow on my channel, so definitely stay tuned if you're interested in details on why this is a bargain and some of the issues with this watch if you're interested in buying one. So there's the C63 Sealander GMT on my 7.5 inch wrist. Like I mentioned, this is around a 39 millimeter watch. It wears like a 39 millimeter watch. You also have around a 46 millimeter lug span, just under 46 millimeters, but considering the bracelet, it is a little bit bigger, but that has no effect on my wrist whatsoever. It's around 12 millimeters thick, and I think this wears spectacularly on my 7.5 inch wrist. It really does fit me very, very well, and I think this could fit someone with a smaller wrist and a larger wrist really without any problems. This is priced at $1,275 on their website. That is with the bracelet. I think you can get this a little bit cheaper if you want it on a strap, but I highly recommend the bracelet because it is very, very nice. I wish there was a little bit of micro adjust in here. Obviously, that would be very, very hard to build into a butterfly clasp. Maybe they will offer that in the future. Maybe they'll offer a dive style version of this in the future. I think that would look fantastic. Although, with that being said, really fits the watch very, very well. And it's sort of a dressy explorer style GMT, which I really like. So there you go. There is no lume on the second hand. That is a little bit disappointing. There is lume on the GMT hand. It's not the most lume that I have seen from Christopher Ward, but it isn't bad. And this is more of a dress GMT. I would call this a dress GMT, especially considering the bracelet. Really good looking watch, especially that blue, electric blue dial or Dragonfly blue dial. It looks phenomenal in light. Beautiful watch, beautiful dial, and I think at a very good price, especially considering the quality that you get from Christopher Ward. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of this watch? What do you think of Christopher Ward? They constantly are coming out with new watches and new lines of watches, so they're not just enhancing current lines, they're actually coming up with completely new watches like the 12 and then coming out with smaller versions of them, just doing a lot over at Christopher Ward. I'm always excited to see what they're going to do next. So tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It's super helpful for the channel and I very much appreciate it. Anyway guys, thank you for logging on. I'll catch you guys in the next video.